Hey everybody, Bill with American Liberty Fighters. I guess let me start this video off by saying I'm aware that politics and religion aren't things that typically people want to talk about in groups, in crowds, and a lot of people don't necessarily want to hear about on YouTube. With that being said, my channel isn't just about homesteading or anything like that. As I'm not on my homestead yet, I can't really do a whole lot on that topic. But my channel was started for political purposes, to put my opinion out there on whether, you know, on politics, as well as on things with veterans, military, and just a number of other things. So being that this is my channel, I'm going to talk about things that probably some people don't want to know, don't want to hear. And, you know, with that being said, I guess if I start a conversation here on a video that you don't want to necessarily hear, I guess you can click stop, don't watch the video, give me a thumbs down, or whatever the case may be. For those who do watch it and you have a difference of opinion, I don't mind having comments left. I'm all for it. I'm all for having dialogue, for communication, because without communication, you're not going to learn what other people think. So, being that today is Sunday, I'm home from church. I'm having a little more coffee. And being that it's the day that I actually celebrate the Sabbath. Some other people might celebrate it on like Saturday, but my family, we celebrate the Sabbath for Sunday. I'm actually wanting, for my video today, I'm wanting to talk about the confirmation hearing of Justice Gorsuch and what's actually going on with that confirmation hearing. So I guess with that being said, if you don't want to hear about this, you may as well stop the video and wait for another video to come out another day. Other than that, at the end of the video, definitely leave a comment down below. Give me a thumbs up, give me a thumbs down, however you want to do this. But for me, I'm finding it very difficult. Number one, I don't know why people seem to think that the senators represent the citizens. I'm confused as to why we always hear about we want term limits, and now it's we want term limits again from some in the Senate and from a lot of people. We had term limits before. And we still, as the voting public, still have the capability of limiting those that are in office currently that don't do what we want, that don't do the will of the people. We have the ability to limit how long they serve. Their term limit is our vote. If you don't like what your senator's doing and you don't like what your House of Representatives, congressmen are doing, don't vote for them again. It's that simple. We don't need a convention of the states in order to change something arbitrarily within the Constitution to give us, we the people, the power of term limits for our representatives in Congress. We had it before at the state level. That was changed in the early 1900s by some ignorant fool who decided that, hey, you know what, it'd be really great that we change this. And we as the people went along with it. It's our own fault. We did it to ourselves. But now we do still have the means of getting rid of those morons, for lack of better wording, within the Senate and the House. It's called our vote. Use your vote. Don't just vote for the person that you know the name of. Well, or Don't just vote because my daddy voted Democrat or Republican. Vote your conscience, as one of my favorite senators said, Ted Cruz. He said, vote your conscience up and down the ticket. And that's what we need to start doing. We need to start paying attention, and we need to start voting our conscience. So, anyhow, I'm not going to go further into that. I just, because today's subject is supposed to be about Gorsuch. And again, I've gone off on a different tangent altogether. I apologize. And for me, I'm finding it very difficult that Democrats in the Senate are screaming, hollering, whining, and crying, and saying they're going to be obstructionists now because they don't agree with Justice Gorsuch. They feel that he's not the right justice for the Supreme Court nomination because he votes, or he rules. He rules on an actual rule of law constitutional level, and not on a personal level or his own, popular vote type thing. He actually follows the rule of law. And my question then is, isn't that what we really truly want on the Supreme Court? I mean, isn't that why we put these justices on the Supreme Court? So they will actually rule on a thing by law, following the Constitution of the United States. I actually posted something on Facebook the other day from the Federalist Papers, speaking of certain things within the Constitution. And I had somebody, and my Facebook actually tweets out when I put it on Facebook. Don't ask me how it works, it just does. And I had an individual tweet back to me, they thought the Constitution was irrelevant now. The horse and buggy age is gone. The Constitution is gone too. It's past its prime. My question to people like that is, how do you decide that the Constitution is no longer valid and relevant? What makes you think that the Constitution is a living, breathing document that needs to be changed arbitrarily? Because you need to watch how it can become very, very bad for people that think that they can change something and it won't affect them. Democrats right now in the Senate that are obstructing the nomination and the appointment of Justice Gorsuch to the Supreme Court, they don't have an actual justification to do so. All they can come up with is that he doesn't rule by popular opinion, or President Obama had a nominee and the Senate, Republican controlled, wouldn't even have confirmations hearing for that judge. And my thought is, why are we playing tit for tat? And what's the problem with the Senate not holding a confirmation hearing of a presidential nomination to the Supreme Court during that president's final year in office? In other words, the lame duck president puts a nominee up. When's the last time we had a confirmation hearing like that? And is it not historically proven that, number one, a lame duck president doesn't nominate for confirmation a Supreme Court justice in his final year, and when he does, the Senate does not hold confirmation hearings, and by constitutional law, they don't have to hold confirmation hearing. Simple. So now back to Justice Gorsuch. If you agree with the Democratic side of the House that it's okay for the Democrats to obstruct the confirmation of this judge to the Supreme Court, explain why you feel that way. Because I'm baffled at it. I'm thoroughly, utterly, it's mind-boggling as to how they can justify their actions. Gorsuch is probably the closest justice that they could have gotten as a nominee to replace Justice Scalia. He's not a Republican. He's not a Democrat when it comes to judicial actions. He follows the rule of law. He doesn't follow popular opinion, and that in and of itself should confirm the man to the position. That's my opinion. Take it for what it's worth. And I guess that's the end of my rant today because my coffee's getting kind of cold and I don't have a microwave. So, anyhow, I guess if you've made it all the way through this video, thank you for listening. Definitely, again, leave a comment down below. Thumbs up, thumbs down, however you want to do it. I appreciate all the comments that I've already had, so I look forward to any further comments, and have a great day. See y'all.